I've decided to eat my weight in Jianbing.
This is thick.
No Jianbing ever disappoints. This is one very unhappy customer.
Is it worth the wait?
This persistence of mine is starting to look a lot like stalking. Yikes. Hello everyone, I am back to filming in Beijing, and I have missed the sights, I've missed the streets, the people, the food. Did I mention the food? The food. And so today I've decided to eat my weight in Jianbing. Yes, the mighty but humble Jianbing. And if you've never had Jianbing, it's basically this pan-fried pancake that is similar but not quite like a French crepe. And if you've had Jianbing, you know damn right that it deserves its own video because it's nutritious, it's delicious, it's filling, it's cheap, and it's highly customizable. So less talking and more eating. Let's go. I am starting with the OG Jianbing, the most basic and simple of them all. There's a line, so I have to wait. All Jianbings are basically built in the same way. The vendor starts with a batter of water and flour, which he spreads on a hot griddle. An egg is cracked, then smeared onto the pancake. Black sesame is sprinkled, then he waits until the bottom side is cooked. He flips, and at some point you'll be asked to make decisions. 哦，对，辣椒一点点。 Here come the fillings: spring onions, cilantro, and bao sui, or thin fried crackers. Then it's time for sauce, usually something bean pasty. Could be fermented, could be sweet, could be something completely different. Different places have different recipes. He folds the pancake and that's it. The whole thing takes a couple of minutes and a Jianbing is born. The Jianbing is in the bag and all that is left to do is to find a place to have it because that place didn't have a place to sit, much like all the Jianbing stalls, because this baby right here is a grab and go sort of breakfast item. You just eat it while moving to your destination. And since I have no destination today, I just need to find a suitable place to have it. Check out Beijing's morning rush hour. Look at those lines of cars. And of course, Guomao is in the back. What have I told you before? No video of mine is ever complete without footage of Beijing's central business district. I think we found our spot. This place is as good as any. Look at all these colors, the yellow, the white, the black from the sesame, and then a bit of red from the sauce. Once we bite into it, you will see a burst of green. My God. Look at the green from the lettuce as well as the green onions. This is the Mona Lisa of Beijing breakfast items. Jianbing is this riot of colors, of textures, of flavors. You have the crispy fried bread from the inside, which contrasts the soft wrapping from the outside. And then you have a little bit of bite from the lettuce. And you have all these intense dark flavors from the sauce, the soybean sauce, and a bit of heat from the chili pepper. But it's not too bold. It's sort of balanced out by the very gentle flavors of the wrapping from the outside. And it's just, I am salivating. I have never had a Jianbing that I did not like. Everything you want in a breakfast: protein, greens, carbs, it's right here. Perfection. As good as the traditional Jianbing is, and objectively speaking, it's really hard to outdo it because it is that good. But at the end of the day, it's a black canvas, just a wrap, which makes it very versatile. You can innovate with fillings, you can experiment with flavors, you can go wild. And wild we shall go, because even though I am a Jianbing purist, today I don't want to play it safe. This is why I want to go all the way to Flavor Town. One-way ticket. Or maybe a round trip. I don't know. I just hope I don't eat my words. Let's do this. Anyhow, they have a lot of options. Cheese and bacon, youtiao, which is fried breadsticks, 鸡蛋辣条, basically this spicy gluten product. They have this major one where like they put beef, bacon, ham, a bunch of salads, latiao. Basically, it's just like a garbage jianbing, just full of everything on this list. There's also a list for additional ingredients to choose from for an extra cost. Cheese, seaweed, mushrooms. It's an extensive list, but I knew exactly what I wanted. 金枪鱼煎，对，
金枪鱼沙拉是吗？
对，然后我想加油条。And of course, the million-dollar question.
里面有这些辣椒、葱、香菜、咸菜，你都吃不吃？
我都吃。
我吃啊。
And just like that, I initiated the jianbing making protocol, but I noticed that the batter was more viscous than usual, so I had to ask. 这个面糊是用什么做的？面。
咱们是8种杂粮混合面。里面有小米、玉米、黄豆、绿豆、红高粱、高筋面。
哇，太多。这个是黄豆浆。
这是我们普通军秘制的专用煎饼酱。
After the secret sauce came the usual suspects: spring onions, cilantro, and jiacai or pickled mustard stems. Then 辣椒一点点。
辣椒一点点。
Here comes the tuna. In goes the youtiao or fried bread, and she was super generous with the lettuce. And she topped all of that with 这个是什么酱？
沙拉酱。
沙拉酱。
沙拉嘛，是吧？
It was sweet mayo. And just when I thought she was done, she threw in one last item. 还有。
这是煎饼的灵魂，
这个煎饼是多重？你觉得是1斤还是没有1斤，不到1斤？但是看起来太大。Look at this monster of a jianbing. I think it's massive. All right, we need to find a place. This looks like a good place to have a meal. I am still in disbelief at just how gigantic this jianbing is. This is one thick jianbing. Let's go for a bite. What am I having? This has all the flavors all at once in an overload of intensity. You have the sweetness and the creaminess of what I'm guessing is mayonnaise. You have the saltiness from the tuna, the mustard pickle, as well as the jiang that they put. And then you have the freshness from the greens, whether it was the green onion, whether it was the lettuce. And then you have the chewiness of the youtiao. And then you have the crispiness of the bao cui. The traditional one has this balance of flavors, but this one is not shy to just give you a punch of flavor, and I'm here for it. It might not be for everyone, but I enjoy it in moderate bites. I am still hungry. For more options, let's go! The third spot is a little bit far. I am in the eastern side of Beijing and I need to travel all the way to the west. And so I'm looking at around 1 hour of subway plus walking. And I hope that it pays off and I hope that it's worth it. The length I go to for Jianbing, it really isn't healthy, but I will not stop. We don't know exactly how Jianbing came to be. The origins of Jianbing are a bit muddy because online you can find multiple stories about how Jianbing came about. The often cited story of the birth of Jianbing goes back to 2,000 years in Shandong. There was this army that lost its woks during a battle, which isn't the worst thing that could happen in a war, but the soldiers were getting hungry. Luckily, they had a general who was smart. He thought of turning the shields into some form of ancient griddle that they can cook on over open flame. And so he ordered the soldiers to make a mixture of water and flour, then slather it up on these heated shields, and then toss in whatever leftovers they had, and Jianbing came to be. I found myself in a food court, and if there's something you should know about me, it's that I don't like food courts. But I'm here on a mission, and the mission is to eat this chicken curry jianbing, a fusion of South Asian and Chinese cuisines. And right after I paid, Lo and behold, she asked the inevitable question.
葱花、香菜、辣椒都要吗？
By now, you already know the drill. Batter spread. Egg crack. Another egg? Why not? Smear. Black sesame, cilantro, spring onions. Wait for the bottom to cook. Flip. Sauce it up. And here comes the star of the show.
是南亚咖喱有加，对，有鸡肉、有土豆、有菜咖喱。
Spread it out. Fold it in. Add the fried crackers. Cut it up. Wrap it on itself. And ta-da!
好的，谢谢你，拜拜。
Despite my reservations on food courts, at least there's always a place to sit.
A table for one, sir? A table for one.
I personally do not like chicken. I don't eat chicken. But the idea of mixing curry, which is something they're promoting as South Asian, with something quintessentially Chinese like the Jianbing, that is something that I'm willing to make exceptions for. So without further ado, let me take the first bite. What? You guys, this is amazing. Like, I know I've pretty much said this for the past 2 Jianbings, but this is amazing. This is it. First things first, I think here the curry is a very general term. I don't know what exactly the spices that they've mixed together, but it's like the flavor that you usually associate curry with, which is either in the form of a powder or the ones that you buy like as a stock. This is it. The curry flavor is the most prominent thing, but what you can taste is that mushiness of the potatoes, and then the chicken has a little bit of bite to it. This is predominantly mushy. The crispy sheet of bread really sucks in that sauce very fast, and so you get the first few bites, you have that sound, which I really like, but now it sort of like became one with the sauce. Even though it is Jianbing, it does not feel like Jianbing. Like, the concept is there, the look is there, the basic foundation is there, but when you're adding that sauce, sort of takes it to a whole new realm. And I guess that's what fusion is about. I don't know, but I am loving it. With that said, off to our final destination.
Throughout the day, we've had different types of jianbing, but they all had one thing in common. They were made by humans. But as humanity moves with great speed into the future, Beijing has a new jianbing vendor. But it's not someone, it's something.
And that something is a robot. Welcome to the future.
So this jianbing robot maker has been here for a few weeks, a couple of weeks, I think, and it has been everywhere in the news, in the headlines, on social media, and I thought I would come check it out because this is the first of its kind in the city, and let's see if it can stack up to what we've had throughout the day.
I saw a QR code and I thought that's the way to order.
Scanning to see what is happening.
It wasn't. And then I saw it. The notice. I was so shocked, so stunned, so surprised, I literally froze.
Wow. I came all the way here to try this. Are we for real? I built this entire video on this, and now this is how it's gonna end?
And as I was pouring my heart out on camera, and trust me, I was not holding anything back, I had a eureka moment.
Here's an idea. They're saying here that there's going to be this big event for a consumption festival happening at Xianmen on the 28th, and so I'm thinking that maybe I should give this another chance. This is one very unhappy customer. What are they going to do about it?
Today is the day. It's February 28th. I am at Tiananmen Dajie, one of the oldest commercial streets in Beijing, where the festival is happening and where I will be having a Jianbing made by a robot. The anticipation has been killing me. I have been waiting for multiple days. The stakes are high. I am hungry because I've skipped breakfast. This better be good. I see it right there. It's right there. So close, yet so far away. I don't know what the situation is like right now because they've closed this area, which I think is where the festival is gonna happen. But let's see if we can get in. If only they can look my way. Then I'll ask the question. 你好，我想问你，你好，我想问你，我什么时候可以点菜？
现在估计过一会儿就可以了，下午应该就可以了。
下午是几点？因为我来这里具体是为了体验这个。现在不行吗？
现在他们这边这里头应该还没开始，他这个活动还没开始。
我知道，但是我来这里不是为了活动，是为了这个。现在可不可以偷偷进去？偷偷的进去。
进来之后，我们这边现在做不了的。
好的，那你说2点，差不多2点。So we still have to wait because they're saying that it's going to start at 2. Maybe they can get me in at 1. It is 12:38 right now, and so all we have to do is wait. I've been waiting for a few days. I can wait a few more minutes. Can you hear the music? The festival has started, and guess what? It's an invitation-only event, and my invitation must have been lost in the mail because I got none. And so they politely asked me to leave the area. So the plan is to probably wait. That sounds pathetic, but yeah, I'm thinking that I could sneak in right when they remove the barriers. Maybe I'll be able to catch the Jianbing robot making thingy before they dismantle it or before they take it back home. I don't know what they're gonna do with it, but I'm hoping that I would get there before they do whatever they need to do with it. Stay tuned.
3 hours later.
I don't know. I've been actually thinking about this question ever since I decided to postpone publishing this video. Is it worth the wait? And at first I was like, hell yeah. Over the past years, we've been talking about whether robots are going to overtake humans in terms of their employment. You see it already in the manufacturing industry, you see it in factories, you see these autonomous delivery vehicles. And given that food is part of our everyday life and it's such a human thing to do, I really wanted to see what this robot can do, see for myself the mechanics of it, but at the same time evaluate whether Jianbing vendors out there should be a little bit scared. But now I'm trying to weigh in the pros and the cons, and I'm starting to feel like maybe, just maybe, it's a waste of time.
2 hours later.
It is 8 p.m. and the party behind me is still ongoing. And the barricades are still up and I'm still not invited to the party, so I better call it a day. I think that this persistence of mine is starting to look a lot like stalking. Yikes. So I better pull the plug because this video is taking a turn to a place that I don't want it to go to. But you go out and have a Jianbing for me, preferably one made by a human. Despite the simple ingredients of Jianbing, it really packs a punch in the flavor department. This was all from me for this week. I will see you in another video, hopefully one that is more structured. Until then, 再见.